A lot of breaking news on this newscast, and that includes our guest who has just joined us live exclusively on WHAS11 News. Todd Inman, the NTSB board member who you saw here live at 3 o'clock, has been in here Louisville since after the crash on Tuesday, giving you the latest briefings, and we appreciate it. Todd, you're a Kentuckian, born and raised in Calvert City, and then spent many years in Owensboro, Kentucky. And I know you have a connection to this tragedy because of that. You've come to us after meeting with the families. What were you able to tell them?
I mean, we try to just let them know our sympathies are with them, obviously, but more importantly, we're treating that scene with dignity and respect. There's no way to understand what they're going through. Unfortunately, I've had a little bit of experience of talking to these families. I was the board member for the DCA crash, and you cannot train for that. But what you can do is let them be heard and let them know that we respect what they're going through and condolences. But in this instance, they're just wanting to know that their loved ones are being identified. That's probably the biggest thing. And we need to make sure we let them know that the investigation does not take precedent over making sure that those family members are found.
Right. And you've made that clear every time you've come out at the beginning of the press conference, and certainly everyone appreciates that. Let's talk a little bit about the investigation, some of the things you revealed today. You talked about, you called it a repeating bell that was heard as the plane was rolling off. Could you kind of explain, it was 30 seconds?
37 seconds.
Well, it was after 37 seconds.
After 37 seconds,
yes.
Okay.
The cockpits have a number of different ways to alert people. There are some bells, there's lights, there's different things that happen. In this case, we think we know which bell it was and why, but it needs to be corroborated with the FDR or flight data recorder information. So we're trying to give enough information to let people know kind of what happened without going too far, without having all the facts. But at that point, this alarm is going off. It's being heard in the cockpit. And it goes on for another 25 seconds until the cockpit voice recorder ends. We can hear the pilots attempting to make control movements. They obviously, it becomes a chaotic time in a cockpit, but out of respect from them, we never release that audio. Right. The transcript will come out in probably 2, 3, 4 months when we release other information. But for some of the family members, it's very important to them because some of these are crew family members. And then you have people who have lost friends and family that were on the ground, not even involved with the flight. So one of our things that we do is try to educate not only the families, but everyone in the community about the way the process works. We've had 150,000 investigations in aviation alone. We've made 15,000 recommendations. But not everyone needs to go through this, nor should they. The reason why we do this is hopefully another community doesn't suffer the same thing. Right.
You revealed in the news conference today that you're actually sending NTSB investigators to San Antonio. We've been doing a lot of reporting here on the San Antonio maintenance that was done there. The plane was there for about a month. Is this a sign to us that you are now really zeroing in on why it was there for 1 month and what was done to it before it was here in Louisville?
No, it is not a sign of that. It's a sign of this is another area of focus. And so one of the things we're careful on is to say just because we're doing something doesn't mean that's where we think it is. We have over 30 plus people from the NTSB alone that are here. 100 plus people are engaged in the investigation and dozens of people remotely. It is one more facet that we look at. The FDR data has 400 plus parameters. These investigations are huge. It'll be 10 to 20,000 pages of just investigative material, transcripts. We try to cover every base because we need to rule out, but we can't rule in until we know.
So that's standard then, to send people down there and not have it sent to you?
It's both. It all depends on what the need is. The documents that we can get now, we can have a lot of high resolution information. The FAA is a party to our investigation. The FAA has people in that area that are already monitoring and working with that facility, and they had been before this crash. Any repair facility that does work like this is under a regulatory scheme, and so there's already audits that occur even before this. So to say that we're going to San Antonio doesn't mean anything different. It just means that it's another part that we know we need to investigate.
So you found the left engine on the airfield, and you gave real specific information today about exactly the timing on that and when it fell off. So when you look at the debris field there, and the fact that it only got, you clarified today, 100 feet off the ground. What is that telling you about an aircraft that big that it only get 100 feet off the ground?
It's telling me that the facts that we see right now is that they were attempting lift and they received lift. It also tells us that they had reached what we call as a takeoff thrust, takeoff speed. Every aircraft has needed parameters based on its weight and balance. So knowing that, we know that certain systems were operating correctly at that point until there was a failure. It lets us not just isolate something, but it lets us focus further. The interesting part about this debris field, though, is because of where it landed, you have a lot of commingled types of materials that you might find typically in an airplane that were already on the ground there. So distinguishing between them is a complicated fact. In fact, we have a metallurgist that we brought from DC specifically to help us do a visual examination. And then when necessary, in our lab in DC, we have a lot of scanning microscopes, x-ray machines, and then we have no problem sending that out to other more specialized laboratories.
Before we go here, you wanted to show just the outpouring that the community has given you.
Unbelievable.
Whenever
Can you hold that up?
Yeah, so
You
nobody
brought
wants
that
to come
to
from
us.
home. This actually, when we got to the hotel about 30 minutes ago, there was a care package sitting there. It had a lot of different just snacks and different things for people, some Kentucky items, and a card from some of the local people that I knew. They had found out where we were at, and
It says thank you on it.
well, it says thank you, but there's some wonderful messages in here just about we love you and are so grateful for your work. Please let your team know that our community supports you. We know that you're trying to make it better for everyone. Louisville loves you.
Louisville. Because we're depending on you for the hard facts in this. It may be hard to hear down the end. The community's really coming together. The message as a Kentuckian you want to give here to this audience watching you tonight?
I'm in government service. There's a proud virtue of being in that. What we do is not easy, and we don't really want to do it. But we are there. We're independent from any other agency, and so we don't let politics come into what we do. We look for nothing but the facts and the truth, and then find a way to not let it repeat itself.
Will we know something in 30 days, a preliminary report?
The preliminary report will be out. It will be not nearly as much as what you will want to see. It will be facts. It will have a lot of technical information in there. It will be 1 to 2 years before the investigative report. We're still working on the DCA crash, which happened in January. That report will come out sometime next year. Let us do the good work, but let me characterize that. If we see something that needs an urgent safety record change, we have no problem doing it. We want to keep everyone safe, no matter what mode of transportation they're in.
All right. Todd Inman, thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
coming.
The community
Thanks for your
appreciates
listening.
Directly from your briefing late today. We appreciated this. That was your last public briefing in Louisville, as you said, on camera, and that we'll be hearing from you, I guess,
Yes.
different forms later. Thank you very much for Todd Inman for joining us here for this exclusive sit down going over